pre-World Cup was Angel Di Maria, because he was going to retire. He announced his retirement following that, but has since, after winning the World Cup, say, you know what, I think I've got a little bit more to give. So he's going to still be there, still playing an important role for Argentina. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right. This 11, a very strong 11, a very unified 11, will be something similar to Scaloni's first choice 11 going into World Cup qualifiers. What I do think we're seeing from this squad, maybe we won't see many of them tonight or on Tuesday in the second friendly, is a look towards the future. And you said it earlier about being a promising project for Lionel Scaloni. Well, I think that is demonstrated in some of the picks in this squad and some of the younger players. And as that shirt gets unveiled, you can just hear the decibel level go up a few notches here in the Monumental.
There was a lot of questioning as far as how Argentina was going to line up their 3 stars. So I think now we finally have cleared the doubt. It would be 2 at the bottom and 1 at the top. Obviously, there's different ways you can change it around. But I remember Brazil, before the World Cup started. They were actually fans. They were making polls in different newspapers in different places as far as where they should put their youth start. You know, before the World Cup even started, something that Brazilians have done in the past. You know, going to Copa Libertadores finals with the flag of Japan, because back in the day the Intercontinental Cup used to be played in Japan, so they would show up to the stadiums with the Japan flag, always, you know, talking beforehand. So Argentina didn't ask about it before, but obviously they asked about it after, and they got it. They'll be placed 2 at the bottom and 1 at the top. So there it is. We got confirmation on Panama as well. Panama will most likely play with Galvan, Peralta, Rios, Fariña, and Anderson. That will be the back 5, as Jose Guerra will take care of the goal. Murillo and Gudiño as the 2 holding midfielders, and up top Quintero, Córdoba, and Stevens. The starting 11, Jorge Deli Valdez, as we talked about him before the match. A great number 9 that had a very, very good passage through Uruguayan soccer in Nacional. Scored many goals, and obviously you start looking at Panama's history as far as a nation, as far as soccer, and that's one of the main names you're going to look at, always being highlighted. So as far as the confirmation, we have the 22 protagonists ready to go.
Yeah, and the players in the tunnel. Lionel Messi leading the way. What a night for these players. We've had some big nights here at the Monumental. But of course, we've also seen Argentina playing a lot of their home games outside of the Monumental in recent years. At La Bombonera or elsewhere outside Buenos Aires, to try and spread the national team around. The last time they actually played here was all the way back in October of 2021 with a 1-0 win over Peru. But it's fitting they should return here. And after the recent renovations, the stadium looking absolutely superb.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world champs officially walking into the pitch. A very historic moment for Argentina, as they walk in front of the fans. There's the World Cup. What a moment. What a moment for Argentina. In a packed Monumental, as Peter said, more than 80,000 people present here to witness something historic. And the same starting 11 that played in that final against France will play tonight as well against Panama. A day for people to enjoy, to relive, as we truly just watch and enjoy, Peter. What a moment as we take a minute to listen to the national anthem of Panama. Ladies and gents, the national team of Panama, as we also take a minute to listen to the national anthem of Argentina.
abrieron las provincias unidas del sur y los libres del mundo responden al gran pueblo argentino salud, al gran pueblo argentino salud y los libres del mundo responden al gran pueblo argentino salud, sean eternos los laureles que supimos conseguir, que supimos conseguir, coronados de gloria, vivamos. Oh, juremos con gloria morir, oh, juremos con gloria morir, oh, juremos con gloria morir.
Emotions running so high, the tears rolling down the face of Dibu Martinez, a smile across the face of Lionel Messi that he simply couldn't remove, and an incredible version of the national anthem just after we had the unofficial national anthem from the World Cup just gone, with the crowd giving us muchachos at top volume. We can now take a look at the formation for tonight. Argentina lining up, as Klaus said already, the exact same 11 that started the World Cup final back on December 18th, with Dibu Martinez in goal, Molina, Romero, Otamendi, Tagliafico across the back four, the midfield three of De Paul, Enzo Fernandez and Alexis McAllister, and then a front three of Lionel Messi, Julian Alvarez and Angel Di Maria. With their families, children, everyone with the squad on the pitch ready for a photo pre-game. Klaus, the national anthem wasn't already enough of an indication we're in for something very special here tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it's emotional for someone that's not even from Argentina. So to see all these people, again, we go back to what I said in the beginning when you had the chance to introduce me. Sometimes soccer could, make those thoughts go away for a minute. Those negative things go away. And these people just, you could tell they're in their own world. They're just enjoying it. They're just living. And again, I spoke to many of our colleagues, many friends in Argentina, telling them that I was going to be on call for the game and just telling them to enjoy it. To enjoy it, either, obviously not everybody's going to have the chance to see it here in the stadium, but wherever you are in Argentina, just enjoy it, because this doesn't happen every day, and it took this country many years, many battles to get to this point, Pete.
Yeah, absolutely it did. No more so than Lionel Messi, which is why I think he, more than anyone, deserves this moment, and is clearly relishing every single moment. We just saw the lineup there, and Lionel Messi, of course, captaining the team once again.
Yeah, definitely. Again, we talked about good players from Panama, other players that we're most in common with, and this is pretty much a B team. Again, we said it again. Panama has a very tough match on the 28th of this month, in 5 days, and they will play against Costa Rica. If they manage to win that game, they will advance in the CONCACAF Nations League. So that's a crucial match. They'll play against another tough team in the CONCACAF, such as Costa Rica. So obviously their focus is on that. We said it again, we have been tracking this team in the last couple of years here in the CONCACAF zone, and it's been a team that's been growing. Their federation has grown, and as a nation of soccer, they've grown a lot. So definitely not the most interesting names, Luis Mejia, Luis Fernando, Dali Sanchez, names that maybe we're most in common with or we're most familiar with, but again, a team that has its focus in less than 5 days, or in 5 days approximately, in a very, very tough match against Costa Rica. If they win, they're not only advancing, but they're also making history. So something important for them as well, Pete.
Yeah, they win, they go to the semi-finals, as you said, which actually as well would mean qualification to that Copa America you mentioned before in 2024. So extra incentive there. We just saw the lineup. Guerra in goal, the back five of Anderson, Fariña, Ramos, Peralta and Galvan. Gudinho and Murillo, the two holding midfielders, and then the front three of Stevens, Córdoba and Quintero.
Ladies and gents, everything seems to be ready here in the Monumental. More than 80,000 people, and there it is, the whistle. Ladies and gents, the action begins here in the Monumental in a new FIFA International friendly alongside Peter Coates and Klaus German. And it is a pleasure to bring you Argentina versus Panama, the world champs back in action here in the Monumental after conquering the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Towards the ball. There's Enzo Fernandez. We'll see how the tactical picture for Panama so far with, I want to say, a 5-3-2 or 5-2-3 maybe. It's kind of a shape that we'll be figuring out as the time goes by. Here's Di Maria. Towards Enzo Fernandez. Picking up his head, Argentina in possession. In the first couple of seconds, Molina with Messi back towards the possession of Romero. Di Maria. And so far, Panama not putting a lot of pressure as well. Ronaldo Córdoba, as you can see in number 19, he's the lone striker, the reference in the attack, as the two wingers, Keith and Quintero and Alfredo Stevens, will be taking care of those wings. Here's Enzo Fernandez, beautiful pass towards the far left. Another chance for Di Maria. Careful with this one. Chance for El Fideo, trying to put it through. A beautiful ball through the chins. And a good cutoff in the back. Great defensive action. As Argentina makes a good move forward here. The first chance so far, Peter. It's going to be a corner.
Yeah, the first chance coming after almost 2 minutes of non-stop possession. Panama just chasing shadows early on in that 5-4-1. Sitting back in their own half, and even sitting back with that many numbers. Angel Di Maria almost threads it through there for the ball.
Ball coming into the area. Careful with this one as it is rejected. And now Panama careful with this one because they might create something fast and quick. Good movement by Anderson, trying to put a long ball on the right side. A chance for Murillo trying to get there. Not able to first. The good coverage by Nahuel Molina. And now, beautiful movement inside of the area by Di Maria. Good recovery down the middle by Alexis Macarister. Here's Rodrigo de Paul. Argentina back in possession.
Already getting the olays in the own penalty box there, with under pressure, getting the ball out from that brief attack from Panama. I think we're largely going to see the pattern of play as we've seen here in the opening couple of minutes.
Here's Messi, careful with this one, looking for his goal, 99. Messi with a shot, and again, something to take into consideration as well. Messi with 98 goals internationally with Argentina, looking for his goal number 100. Now the question is, will it be tonight, Peter?
Well, it may well be. You certainly wouldn't rule that out, would you, Klaus? Given the disparity between the two sides, in fairness, when you look at the quality on the pitch, and Lionel Messi's goal-scoring form for Argentina and for Paris Saint-Germain, of course, this season, and despite perhaps their troubles collectively, Messi comes into this game in tremendous form.
Di Maria. Oh, a chance for Otamendi. Again, Argentina controlling the game, controlling the possession. Here's Rodrigo de Paul putting an interesting ball towards the far right. Careful with this one. Couple of bodies inside of the area. Ball towards Messi, but a great cutoff. First from Richard Peralta. Here's Quintero moving towards the left, trying to carry it through. Doesn't seem like a foul. Good recovery by De Paul. quickly picking up his head and finding Enzo Fernandez, the Chelsea Football Club player, putting this long one towards the right side, looking for Messi, but it is a little too much. It will be a goal kick. Here's the previous one, Peter.
Yeah, just a little burst in between two players, and characteristic of Messi, onto his left foot, just pulled up a little bit after he got that shot off. And the challenge came in from Giovanni Ramos. Looks already to have run off any potential knock that he got there.
Ball from Galvan. Now Murillo with the header. Ronaldo Córdoba finds Alfredo Stevens on the far right. Careful with this one. Good cross into the area. Good header and rejection by Otamendi. Ball in play, still alive. Careful with this one. The chance on the left. And a great reaction defensively by Nahuel Molina. And again, Panama got to be careful with their front three. Córdoba, Quintero, and Stevens pretty fast, and they look like they have a good chemistry with each other as well.
Yeah, it's already in the first couple of minutes here. On the counter, they are willing to throw men forward when they win the ball, and as you say, do so quickly. So Argentina need to just still be a little wary when they go on the attack, not become too comfortable.
It's a very crowded box. The chance for Panama as the ball makes its way in. The header puts it back into action. It was from Kevin Galvan, and a quick capture by Diego Martinez, who tried to play quick, but there was no one up there. Jose Guerra will take possession of this one. Anderson. And now Murillo quickly finding Gudiño. Now Panama moving the ball around. Argentina, who will play next week against Curaçao in Santiago del Estero. And Peter, we had the chance to cover the Argentine League and to do many games in that scenario, in that venue. Very, very nice stadium that it's not utilized as much in Argentine soccer, but it will be utilized next week as well.
Yeah, and a great opportunity for the north of the country to get to see the world champions. That's, of course, the motivation for moving them around. We often see Argentina, when they do that, go to places more recognised like Córdoba and Mendoza.
They played in Rosario at number ones against Brazil for the 2010 World Cup qualifiers in the Gigante de Rojito. But usually those are the chosen cities: Mendoza, Córdoba, or Buenos Aires.
Yeah, and of course the stadium they will be using in Santiago del Estero, very recently built for these kind of occasions, specifically for the Argentinian Football Association to have that kind of World Cup level stadium in the north of the country. And like you said before, Klaus, ordinarily from the domestic action with Central Córdoba, one of the much smaller teams domestically, often playing there, this gives an opportunity for a sellout crowd and an atmosphere that stadium won't have had very often.
Here's Di Maria. It's a long cross from left to right. And a good reception by Molina as well. Who puts it back into the middle, the good control. And Enzo Fernandez, the former River Plate, alongside Peter, had the chance to call many of his games when he was emerging out of River Plate. Even when he was playing in Defensa y Justicia. It's just so crazy to see how a kid in a matter of 2-3 years managed to jump at such a high level. And again, coming from someone who has been pretty much on track or on top of Enzo in the last couple of years, we saw him in a very successful season with River Plate as well. Careful with this one, the chance into the middle and another good rejection, this time by Giovanni Rios. Well recovered by Argentina. Here's Messi. Good movement towards the right, gets away from one marker, tries to pass towards McAllister. Di Maria inside of the area. Messi, someone in the way, back towards Di Maria, who tries to put it into action, but ball is blocked along the way. Here's Tagliafico. Towards Otamendi. Romero, living in Panama, completely cornered in their own half. Di Maria. And Argentina feeling very comfortable with the ball. It's a good one towards the right. looking for Molina, back towards the middle for Fernandez. Here's the ball between the marking of the team, putting a beautiful through ball into the middle. And once again, Giovanni Rios. Another great reaction defensively by number 13, clearing this one out. You're throwing.
2 or 3 occasions now already that Argentina have got into nice positions down either side, and it's just been the cutback that's been lacking. The one before for Di Maria seemed desperate to try and find Messi, where both Di Maria and Tagliafico before him did have opportunities to get shots off themselves.
Di Maria puts it back into the middle. Here's Messi. And you can hear it in the crowd. Every time Messi just grabs the ball, everyone just loses their minds. It's crazy how the effect that it has on people. Here's an infraction from Enzo Fernandez against Stevens. And it will be a free kick right at the equator of the pitch for Panama.
It's crazy as well, continuing to watch Messi throughout his career, and everyone and his dog knowing exactly what Lionel Messi's going to do, and yet still defenders being just unable to stop him. As soon as he gets the ball there, just shifts it, seemingly not doing anything particularly special, but just that shift of weight, the balance that he has, keeps it on his left foot and skips away from challenges. Still, after all these years, a real sight to behold.
Long ball from Fariña, trying to find Stevens. Foul from number 9. De Paul. Fernandez. Di Maria. Molina on the very far right. Here's Messi, putting his focus on the left side. Finds Enzo Fernandez. Little by little getting accustomed to Chelsea. So far, hasn't had a bad performance whatsoever. And the team from London, still making his first steps in the Premier League. There's Julian Alvarez, another one that's getting, or trying to get used to the Premier League. Obviously, having someone like Haaland in front of him makes it a little more difficult. The infraction here against DePaul, and it will be a free kick for Argentina.
Yeah, the rise of Enzo Fernandez has, as you said before, Klaus, been nothing short of meteoric. When you consider the boy playing for a club like Defensa Justicia not long ago in Argentina, coming back to his parent club River Plate after that successful loan deal, and within the space of a year going on to become a full international, having made that move to Benfica, becoming a key figure in a World Cup winning side, and then going to Chelsea for what, 120 million, or whatever the final figure was, but just absolutely astonishing. And at his age, you just think about what kind of career Enzo Fernandez might end up having, and how long he may be the linchpin to this national team.
I remember having the chance to being able to cover River Plate week by week and seeing him grow as a player. I mean, a player that went from not even being in the starting 11 to little by little making his way into the starting 11, and again, in very little time, just grew significantly. It's just astonishing. It's just fantastic to see a player, again, in so little time grow so much. Here's Di Maria finding Tagliafico. Good ball towards the far post, but there's just no one there. The coverage here by Kevin Galvan, trying to find Quintero.
On that subject,
Molina.
I think on that subject as well, Klaus, let's not forget, when discussing the Argentina World Cup squad just months before the tournament, Enzo Fernandez was probably still on a maybe list. Many people were not sure if he was even going to be going. He wasn't really until the injury to Giovanni Lo Celso, who was one of the main starters for Lionel Scaloni, that it definitely opened up a space in the midfield. His form at Benfica kind of pushed him to the front of that queue, and people said, okay, it's got to be Enzo Fernandez. Going into the tournament, he still wasn't in that starting 11. He had got into the squad, and then we saw those tweaks. Of course, the defeat to Saudi Arabia in the opener, that big shock at this last World Cup, forced Scaloni, if you will, to make changes. Enzo Fernandez was one of them, and he's simply never looked back since then.
Jorge Deli Valdez in charge of taking care of Panama this evening. Here's Nahuel Molina. Good ball towards the right side. And let's be honest, Argentina hasn't stepped it up yet. They're just moving the ball around. It's like, you know, when you're playing the video game and you're trying to score fancy goals, like you don't want to score no tap-ins, you don't want to score no easy, you want to score nice goals. I feel like that's gonna be the vibe for tonight. You know, we must score good goals, you know, collective plays, you know, build-ups. And so far Argentina's been doing that. Here's Messi. That's not a foul. Ooh, that didn't look like a foul first. And Nepal, of course, coming to the rescue, as he should. And we are going to have the first yellow card of the game. It will be for Kevin Galvan, and a free kick, a very nice one here for Argentina.
Oh, Messi left there with a bloodied knee. We got our first yellow card. I think it was shown to Kevin Galvan. Just to remind us that this isn't just a party here. There is still a competitive game of football being played. And as you say there, Rodrigo de Paul quickly on the scene. Lionel Messi's loyal watchdog over the last couple of years for the national team.
Now, I'll take that back. Look at number 11. Look at number 11. His tackle is super clean. And then Galvan, look at number 11's tackle. Beautifully. And then Galvan comes out of nowhere to chop him off. Like, and yeah, and then Quintero's like, yeah, no, it's not me, it's him. You know, like, so unnecessary, because the tackle from number 11, from Jose Murillo, was perfect, literally. And then Galvan comes out of nowhere so unnecessarily, just chop Messi off. Now the chance for Argentina here, right at the edge of the area. Well, I think it's a couple of, yeah, very close to the edge of the area. There it is, approximately 25 meters. And Jose Guerra will try to stop this one.
I think that challenge to some extent born out of the panic that Lionel Messi can induce on a defence. You see him when we saw the lineups on that right-hand side, but clearly tucking in field, getting the ball into his feet. And there's that just fear in defenders once he gets into it and turns, that he could hurt you. And that's why we see those flying challenges, just anything to stop him.
A chance for Messi, looking for his goal number 99. Leo Messi! And the ball strikes on the post. Incredible. What a shot from number 10. And the ball didn't even have too much power, but the accuracy was just on point. Look at this one, Pete. Almost number 99, but not yet.
Beautiful strike. Over the wall, bending away from the goalkeeper, who's just watching and praying as it comes back off the woodwork.
They're going to play this one short. Here's Messi. Plays it right at the edge of the area. The control. Di Maria and the ball back towards Messi. This time not successful. Good cutoff by Cristian Quintero. A little miscommunication there in the back of Panama as the ball gets recycled and now cleared out of the back. Again, Panama having a tough time finding the ball, finding possession. There's a good recovery in the middle by Gudiño. Good turn as well by Peralta, and now the chance for the Panamanians to move forward. Here's Jose Murillo putting an interesting ball. It was the left side, but once again recycled and collected by Nahuel Molina. And here's Dibu Martinez.
It's so difficult in those situations for Panama to do a lot. Neat little play in the midfield to begin with, but Quintero's never going to get anything out of Romero.
It's going to be a corner. And the intention is to do it quick, and they are going to do it quick. Here's a good ball. Towards Di Maria, but it does get cut off. So far, good defensive labor by number 13, Giovanni Rios. This guy right here. Well, I mean, there's a reason why he's wearing the captain's armband as well. Here's a replay of that free kick, and the whole goal just shook, literally.
Yeah, it would have been up there
Look,
with.
you're gonna see it here.
Would have been up there as one of Messi's best free kicks for the national team. Just a delicate little chip over the wall.
Great control. And a Good cutoff as well by Kevin Galvan. Good recovery as Di Maria quickly tries to find Messi. Pass doesn't succeed. Now the foul. We talked about the referees too as well. Cristian Ferreira, the Uruguayan, in charge of bringing justice into the match. 2 Uruguayans will be in charge of refereeing not only this match but the match next week against Curaçao. Today alongside Richard Trinidad, Carlos Barreiro, and Gustavo Tejera, who's the 4th official, who will be the main official against Curaçao. Just something to have in mind. McAllister. Here's Cuti Romero. De Paul. Good ball here towards Messi with a lot of space. Careful with this one. Has a runner on the right. The chance of a cross maybe. We'll see what happens on this one. Good ball into the area. The chance for Messi. It's going to be a little tough there for number 10 to get his head in there. Good clearance by Rios once again. And another good ball towards the right. This time cleared by Kevin Galvan. Here, Otamendi as last man will collect this one. De Paul. And Argentina in total control. Here's a beautiful ball towards Julian Alvarez. The spider. Julian into the area trying to find Messi. I think the pass had a little too much strength in it. Too much power. Made it difficult for number 10 to control it. But the ball is still in possession of Argentina. Julian once again. McAllister. De Paul. And now Messi. The chance for Messi. Right outside of the area. Beautiful ball looking for Tagliafico. Back towards Messi. Cleared. And now Enzo Fernandez right at the edge of the area. Switches sides. Tries to find Di Maria, but unsuccessful as he tried to control it. It's going to be a throw in for Panama.
The attack before, another example of Argentina working it really well into those channels. This time it was Julian Alvarez. Didn't have a huge amount to aim at. Messi made that near post dart. That's who he tried to go for, as you say. Went for power, really. Whipping it across the 6-yard box. Very difficult one to get that finishing touch from Messi.
Good movement here by Ervin Gudinho. And now Panama with the ball. Good turn by Stevens. Gudinho. And now Murillo. Good touches here by Panama. Let's see what happens. Good chance of a shot from long range. Far away from target. The attempt by Cristian Quintero. Maybe a goal kick. Here's De Paul. This one towards the far right, the chance for Di Maria, who started on the left and then moved towards the right side as well. That's a quick change for number 11. Good ball inside of the area. Looking for McAllister, rejected by Rios. Here's Messi. Right outside of the area. Good turn by number 10. Finding Enzo Fernandez. Tagliafico. Back towards Enzo. Good control by number 24, picking up his head. Another long switch towards the right side. Good control by Di Maria. De Paul. Beautiful through ball looking for McAllister. And a good reaction as well from Jose Guerra, who came out trying to suffocate number 20. Peter, Argentina still in total control here.
Yeah, just probing away, aren't they? Trying to find those spaces. Panama trying to keep things as compact as possible through the middle. And even despite that, Rodrigo De Paul threads that one through, and just out of reach of McAllister. Those midfield runners causing problems as well. We've already seen in the first couple of minutes it was De Paul making that forward run. This time McAllister. And that dynamic midfield three of Argentina, so difficult to defend against, and it was a real game changer I think at the World Cup once Lionel Scaloni stumbled across this trio of De Paul, Fernandez and McAllister. There's no real natural defensive midfield, a holding midfield player if you will, but they're all comfortable going box to box, all high energy. McAllister the most forward thinking perhaps, but even he will get back, as we've seen at club level with Brighton as well.
Yeah.
And it just gives Argentina this incredible engine room.
McAllister, who some call it that secret angel. I remember watching the World Cup final and the way he controlled Antoine Griezmann during the final. And that was his job, that was his task, to control Griezmann. We remember that World Cup. Antoine Griezmann had a pretty good World Cup pretty much up until that final, where he completely disappeared in the first 45 minutes. But if we start tracking down and looking at the work done by McAllister throughout the final, sometimes it's crazy how players sacrifice themselves in order to make the team successful, and that's exactly what happened. He pretty much took care of Griezmann on the right side, and number 7 just couldn't get his foot on the ball. Here's Messi, beautiful ball towards the ball, inside of the area, once again cleared, this time by Edgardo Fainia.
Yeah, and it's testament to the development of McAllister, which you have to give credit to Brighton for. When you look back at McAllister coming through at Argentinos Juniors, when in Argentina, still playing as well for the Argentina under-20s, he was often pigeonholed really as a number 10, or certainly an offensive midfield player who would play off the centre forward, make late runs into the penalty box. He still does that, makes those runs, as he did of course for his important goal in the group phase of the last World Cup against Poland, but he's just become so much more rounded as a midfield player.
Great ball into the inside. Julian Alvarez, who lets it go, and now Tagliafico goes down, but no infraction called by the ref. Beautiful ball by Messi inside of the area, looking for Di Maria, but the ball just a little too much for number 11. There will be a goal kick here for Panama.
Argentina at times just queuing up, aren't they, when they get into those wide areas. The cutbacks are low. They're not a team that throws crosses into the box ordinarily. They don't have that player really to go and attack it, with Julian Alvarez as the number 9, but a very mobile number 9 who can drop off and go into the wide areas. So as a result, it is usually low crosses, looking for the movement of those forward players, and more blue and white shirts arriving in the box. Just feel it's a matter of time before one of those cutbacks reaches its intended target.
Argentina, who will kick off the 2026 World Cup qualifiers with first Ecuador, and then they will have to visit Bolivia. They will have to visit La Paz, more than 3,500 meters above sea level, to play against Bolivia. So those will be the first 2 games for Argentina, building the dream towards 2026. I don't know if you noticed, but if you look at Messi's right knee, he has a huge cut. He's been bleeding for quite some time. I noticed that during the free kick that he had, I don't know if it was a result of that foul he received, but it's a pretty bad cut. Maybe you'll get a better look next time, but something to look at as well. Fico finds Otamendi. Here's Enzo Fernandez. He's again trying to find Di Maria. Controlled by number 11. Running towards the middle, the chance of a shot from long range. Around the crossbar. I don't think that ball's ever coming back. And it's going to be a goal kick.
Souvenir of the night, if he's able to keep that one. It opened up there momentarily for Di Maria. It was worth the effort.
You see, that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't have happened 10 years ago. But now with the remodel of the Monumental, now things like that can happen. Before it would just land there in the track, but now someone's taking that one home for sure. Controlled by Galvan. Here's Jose Murillo. Once again, number 11. In control of the ball, has a couple of options. Seems to find Gudiño, who doesn't move the ball correctly. Now the chance for Argentina. And now this is what Argentina needs. They need more space. Obviously, when Panama's crowded up in the back, it's hard to attack. The chance here for De Paul. Great ball inside of the area, looking for McAllister, who tried to leave it through. For Julian Alvarez, but it simply didn't work out. Here's Anderson. Stevens. Good pass from number 9. Good control by Anderson as well. That ball should be for Panama. Referee doesn't know which way to go. Oh, he goes to Panama. There we go. Here's Richard Peralta. Good ball towards Irving Anderson. Good control by number 2. This one should be for Argentina. Fernandez. Good cut out first. Once again by Kevin Galvan. So far the only man holding a yellow card. Tagliafico. Fernandez. De Paul. Argentina moving the ball around. Looking very comfortable. Great one here towards Molina. Great control as well. Looking to turn. Finds Di Maria. He tries to cross this one through, but it gets blocked along the way. Another good recovery by number 11, putting it towards Molina. Back towards Di Maria. Back towards Molina. Great ball into the area. Right into the hands of Jose Guerra.
Yeah, well worked once again. Molina it was, providing that width. As we saw him do at the World Cup. It's a great effect. On that occasion, just a fraction too close to Jose Guerra, with Alvarez and McAllister lurking.
Well, Panama definitely not making things easy here for Argentina, I'll tell you that. That's for sure. It's putting them to work, at least for a couple of minutes. We'll see what happens after.
Yeah, I mean, they're not showing a great deal going forward. I don't think we expected that, but they certainly haven't come here just to roll over. Over half an hour gone, still goalless. I think a lot of people would have turned up here tonight expecting to see a fair few goals, and probably by this stage Argentina to be in front.
Here's Messi trying to get through. Great coverage in the back by Peralta once again. Very solid. Fernandez. Great ball towards the ball right at the edge of the area. Good cross into the box, looking for Alvarez. And another good rejection by Rios. Here's Tagliafico. Fernandez. Guti. Romero. Not a good distribution here. Now the chance for Panama. Careful with this one. Here's Ronaldo Cordova. Trying to get around the marking of Enzo Fernandez. No foul, says the ref. All ball. Play on, play on. There's Irving Anderson. Good movement by number 2, trying to get through. Good coverage as well by Otamendi.
Yeah, brilliant challenge from Otamendi. Went past Tagliafico a little bit easily there, but straight into the challenge came Otamendi to cover. He's another one hugely benefited from the Lionel Scaloni era. And so many people, I think, would have had him out and retired after the last World Cup in 2018, and instead he's just become a real leader both on and off the field for Lionel Scaloni, and with Romero has really built a terrific central defensive partnership.
Molina. Another chance for Di Maria. Messi. Tagliafico with a couple of different options. Great control by McAllister. The ball fed through Messi, but cut off right at the end. And again, every time Messi picks up his head and has the ball, he literally has 2 to 3 players surrounding him right away. So it makes it pretty difficult as well for Argentina trying to build something up when you have so many players crowded in such a small space. Well, cut off here, good rejection by Fariña. Romero. Not a good ball here towards De Paul. Chiqui Tapia, president of the Argentine Federation of Soccer.
Can't really argue with the results of President Tapia when you consider that his appointment of Lionel Scaloni really did raise eyebrows, but having added now a World Cup, adding a Copa America before that, the Finalissima, of course, victory against Italy as well in between those two. 3 trophies over the course of the last couple of years. It's really put the national team front and centre once again in the country.
De Paul. Argentina trying to move this one forward. Here's a through ball, but it was a little too much from Di Maria.
Not the first time we've seen that tonight, not just from Di Maria, just overhit passes from players who would ordinarily easily be able to weight the ball in behind Di Maria there. We've seen it from Messi, we've seen it from Enzo Fernandez.
Beautiful through ball, the chance for Messi. Messi! A great block along the way. Great defensive action as he tries to put it back into action, but it gets rejected as well. Great action there by Ricardo Fariña to block that shot. And again, if you remember what I told you a couple of seconds ago, every time he has the ball, every time he picks up his head, literally surrounded by 3 to 4 players every time. And that play wasn't the exception. Argentina still in control. Here's De Paul. Alvarez. Julian. Feeding this one through the ball into the middle. Another good cutoff by Giovanni Rios. Here's De Paul. The chance for De Paul as he takes a shot. I believe it hit one of his own teammates. Good ball by Ivan Anderson. And now this pass almost getting towards Quintero. Great cutoff by Molina as he was quickly making his run back. Could have been a very dangerous pass there. McAllister. Good turn by number 20. Tagliafico. And a long ball from Enzo Fernandez. Di Maria. Looking for Molina. Good recovery here by Quintero, who goes down. And the infraction is called. And Panama now, as the minutes go by, looking a little more comfortable. Not look like it was on edge, but it looked like he was still on.
A hint of offside about that one, but a wonderful pass, just as I was talking about. A number of overhit passes tonight. Rodrigo De Paul threads that one through absolutely perfectly. And Messi just hesitates, thought about taking the shot on early, waited, and that just allowed the defenders to be able to get back and make the block.
Yeah, his body was definitely up in the air when I'm looking at it. But there's no VAR here, so. If the assistant doesn't call it, then most likely it won't be called. There's a ball towards Quintero inside of the area. It looks to be on offsides. It was actually Córdoba, excuse me. Messi. And then Di Maria. Molina making a run on the far right. Here's Messi once again. Good control by Leo. Looking to turn. Trying to find options. Looking on this one for Tagliafico. Not able to connect the pass. Good recovery by Enzo Fernandez. Stevens with the push. And the foul, says the referee.
Just hear there the Monumental in unison cheering for Dibu Martinez after that routine save with the offside flag already up. Just goes to show the figure that he's become in Argentina. And we talked about the astonishing rise of Enzo Fernandez before, but that's certainly rivaled by Emi Martinez, from the wilderness at Arsenal to where he's been able to go with Aston Villa and then the national team. And it's back in Argentina where that is most obviously seen. You walk around Buenos Aires and outside that number 10 shirt of Lionel Messi, it's the goalkeeper shirt of Dibu Martinez that you so often see worn by the children around the city, and kids now actually wanting to play in goal.
Good combination here. Got a quick cutoff from Molina. Yeah, I remember for Christmas, all the kids were Diego Martinez, all dressed as goalkeepers, saying his phrases. Mira que te como. So that's also an inspiration on the kids as well. I mean, we talked about the importance of these guys and their title, not just a sport, not just an achievement in sport, but way more than that. What it means for the society as an overall. As we see an infraction here for the Paul.
Yeah, you just wonder what kind of impact that could have in years to come with the production line of goalkeepers in Argentina. It's been a position that perhaps over the years has been somewhat neglected in Argentina, and I think predominantly because of the fact that everyone wants to be a number 10. You look at the stars of Argentine football over the years, and it's very few goalkeepers, defenders. But Emi Martinez may just have changed that over the last year or so, and it will be very interesting to see if that does have a knock-on effect in years to come with an influx of goalkeepers from this country.
Chance for Argentina. Here's Messi. Finding Enzo Fernandez. Here's Tagliafico by himself on the left. Good control by number 3, trying to feed this one through. Another great cutoff by Anderson. And now Stevens, who started playing as a forward or a winger, now playing literally as a center back. So you can add another one to that line of 5. There's a through ball looking for Alvarez. Good control by Julian. Into the areas! He was trying to find Messi, but the pass fell a little too short. Good control by Di Maria as he repossesses. Here's Fernandez. Romero, De Paul. Quick touches from Argentina. Once again, De Paul. Finding Tagliafico.
The sheer number of red shirts they get into the penalty area make it so difficult for Argentina.
Messi over the crossbar. Makes it very difficult. And again, you can pretty much see 2 lines of 5 almost. It's very tough to get through.
Yeah, very deep as well. I mean, that first line of 5, the back 5, rarely venturing more than about 25 yards up the pitch, so they immediately fall back into the penalty box. They're then joined by those 2 holding midfield players.
A chance for Argentina inside of the area. And again, Messi trying to pretty much shake everyone. Here's Fernandez! And a great save by Jose Guerra. It was a Chelsea man who tried it from long range, and a great response by the keeper. It will be a corner.
It's a wonderful strike from Enzo Fernandez back at the stadium where he shone so brightly for River Plate. We've seen him do it in their colours here, and he wasn't far away from giving us the opener just before half-time. An excellent save by Guerra.
Enzo Fernandez definitely feeling at home. Good ball into the area, far post, and a great header by Richard Peralta. Clearing all the danger away. There was a player incoming on the second post, on the far post. And number 5 prevented that from happening. There's a couple of pushes between Peralta and Alvarez. A warning there from Christian Ferreira. Couple of players there. And of course, Panama doesn't want to come here and be danced around, that's for sure. So they're putting up a good fight too. So far, a better fight than I think we both got here, as we see Gustavo Tejera racing up the device indicating we're going to play 1 minute of added time. Here in the Monumental, so far no goals between Argentina and Panama. We see all the phones there, right on number 10. And after a long discussion, the corner kick finally executed. Here's Messi, good ball into the area, and another good one here by Stevens. And Medisha finds a deflection, makes this one throw in defensively for Panama. Here's the previous one, the strike by Fernandez. That's crazy how this ball takes on speed.
Yeah, it's a really good strike. Little too close to the goalkeeper, perhaps. And it allows Guerra to get that right hand up, a strong right hand, and palm it away. It's the closest Argentina have come, though.
Long ball. Here's Messi right outside of the area. Good control by Leo as Galvan was putting up the pressure. Di Maria. Control by Angel as he finds Otamendi. Enzo Fernandez. Good rejection by Peralta. Ladies and gentlemen, the halftime whistle from Christian Ferreira. So far, Peter, no goals in the Monumental between Argentina and Panama.
Well, Panama have frustrated Argentina. The possession stats heavily weighing as expected in favour of the home team, but as yet still scoreless, and a real lack of, you'd have to say, clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. That save by Jose Guerra right at the end there from Enzo Fernandez, one of the few that he's been forced into despite that domination with the ball. And that'll be where Lionel Scaloni will want to see improvements in the second half. Does that mean he goes to the bench? Can he tinker with the existing 11? I think he probably will try and change things up, and he perhaps could bring in Lautaro Martinez as an extra striker and add another body into that penalty box, simply to combat the numbers that Panama have there. And you could maybe argue you could sacrifice someone a little bit further back, given the lack of ambition perhaps that Panama are able to show in an attacking sense. So plenty to think about ahead of the second half.